Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 131. I am your host. I'm in the basement. It is late on a Friday night to take you behind the curtain, eh?
Oh, it's Friday?
It is.
Huh.
We're doing a late night Friday recording, and we'll put this out tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I had school today.
You did have school today.
I just remembered. I legitimately just remembered.
I know, it's been a long day. And
Well,
you
yeah.
had yesterday off.
Yeah, but the week just kind of got turned upside down.
It did. Did you happen to notice that they canceled buses and then it turned out to be for no reason because
Pretty much.
there was no weather, really?
That's what my friend was saying, like,
And it's weird that they do it in anticipation of weather. So,
I'm okay with that.
yeah, you got a day off, so that was lovely for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got back from playing full court basketball for the first time in
Out of nowhere.
quite a while. Out of nowhere, you're right. Guy I used to coach with has gym space and a bunch of, I think the youngest guy was 35, which I was very happy to see because I don't want to be
You're old.
yes, to put it delicately. I don't want to be running up and down with 20-somethings.
Right.
So, yeah, it was fun. I'll be paying for it tomorrow. But, yeah, it just didn't work out to record tomorrow. We usually record Saturdays. But your brother's basketball plus your job, right, are causing us to come down here tonight. But that's okay. We've done a couple late night recordings before, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, we have before, I think.
I think we have at least once. So, I don't know. Anything else new with you? Wow, you're good at this. We talked about this last week. You are
No.
okay. I don't know. There's not really much new with me either. You're almost done semester 1 of grade.
Almost
10.
exams. Woo.
You almost had exams. And how many exams? You have 4 classes. How many of them have exams?
2.
2 have exams. What's that? Math?
And history.
Nice. I
It's
figured.
not terrible, I guess, but
Yeah, it's your first
So-
exam experience.
yeah.
So that's interesting because you didn't, because of COVID, have any last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
And Fairwood didn't do that.
no, your elementary school didn't do that. So you're ready for like hour and a half of writing a big test?
Yep, I'm real pumped.
Are you prepared?
Getting there. I haven't started studying yet.
Getting there, but haven't started.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm
I
not sure.
haven't started
I'm not-
studying yet. Oh,
not-
we'll get there.
Not sure those two things go together.
We'll get there.
And then the way it's done around where we live, right, is you also have culminating some big project to.
I think it's kind of bull that we have both. Like, pick one.
Well, it's because there's 70% is your term mark, like the work you do all semester,
Pick one.
and then 30%. So you don't really want one thing being worth 30%.
Yes,
So
I do.
you do, I guess.
Pick one.
If you're good at it, you might.
No, then I only have to worry about one. And if I have to worry about one a lot, that's okay. At least it's still only one.
You'll put all the worry into one and be
Exactly.
fine with that. Yeah,
Put all your eggs in one basket, you know?
that's right. That is all. They do say that is always a good idea.
Exactly.
I think.
See? I'm right.
I think the phrase is always keep your eggs in one
Yeah,
basket.
exactly.
That's how it goes, right? I think so. So you're working on a hot chocolate over there?
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when we started this, it was every week it was booster juice, right?
Yeah. Then we started doing it, like, because we did, like,
We would pause it.
before. We used to do it before, too, I think.
I think we'd stop in the middle sometimes, too.
I think we started doing that after.
My
'cause-
God, I've gotten more efficient at doing this.
Yeah.
Let
We
me
used to
tell
do
you.
it like before, and then you're like, we'll take a pause for it. And now it's just like, I don't remember the last time we had it. To be
Oh.
fair, it is winter.
Remember when we
But-
lost, 2 episodes? Because I'm dumb. Well, we're just inexperienced. Now I know
And
how
the
to.
computer dying.
Yes. So that was re-recording those episodes was not. You were actually better about it than I was because I was super
Oh,
pissed.
yeah, you hated it.
Oh, so angry. But because it's so hard to like talk about something you just talked about and sound at all enthusiastic or like you're interested in talking about it again, right?
Right, because you just, like, you
You
kind
just
of
did
already
it.
shared it, even though it's out in the abyss.
And it was organic once, and it's not the second time.
Right.
Yeah, so that was frustrating. But anyways, I digress. I don't know. I suppose we should get to talking about some wrestling so I can get to bed before 2:00 would be the goal tonight. So let's see if we can hit that mark. So we'll move into our first segment where we'll get talking about some actual wrestling. Oh, before I forget, we should mention, what did we just do wrestling-wise? What did I do wrestling-wise for us today? Or you don't know?
Oh, the tickets?
Tickets to.
I got there. Oh, yeah, because so Impact's back at Rebel.
It's exactly what we had hoped for. I mean, people are probably listening to our podcast, right? From Impact, I would
Yeah.
assume. Why wouldn't
Obviously.
Why wouldn't they be? So yeah, we were saying because they're in Canada to do what?
I don't know. This other thing wasn't it? Or weren't they in like? Was it? They weren't in Windsor, were they?
That sounds right because that's what I was gonna say too.
Let me see. I swear that it
But
was
anyways,
like something like that.
they were somewhere in Canada, so we were saying, wouldn't it be cool if, since they're over the border already, why wouldn't they just come to Toronto? Because we've talked about it here before.
And they've been here. They've been here a bunch too, like before.
And in 2000, what we went to those shows?
18, and then I think we went to one the next year. But like 18's the one we always like kind of reference, right?
Yeah,
like
so
that was the first couple times we went.
In a really cool venue, like it looks great on TV, and it's really small, so it's back there for Rebellion, right? Which is a pay-per-view. So we got second row tickets today for it. Decent value, to be honest. Like I'm not mad at how much they were. The first ones I clicked on in the front row, I was.
I can't find where the other one was, but like the one that was not in. I don't know. It was somewhere.
So the front row ones were over $300, so that must be some kind of. I bet that's like the VIP package.
That's what I was thinking, right?
That we didn't pay for but got to do. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. It's a really good venue. The roster's definitely not as stacked as when we were there in 2018.
Yeah, but I mean, if you see like Speedball or something, you're good.
That would be amazing. Yes, if we get. Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that. And Josh Alexander, like he's awesome. So we should get. And it's a pay-per-view. So honestly, their pay-per-views are
a little better.
Yeah, like the matches are like
good. Be a little more hesitant on TV.
Good to very good, you know what I mean? Sometimes excellent. So there's never any major duds. So it should be fun.
Should be.
But anyways, back to wrestling, other wrestling, the usual wrestling stuff we talk about, and that's our first segment where we'll took at?
Huh?
I put take a look at and smashed it into one.
We took at, yeah.
We're getting efficient here, right?
It's all about efficiency. That's
right.
all. That's all it is.
You might not understand a word we're saying.
It's literally only about efficiency. That's all we care about.
It will be efficient.
It might not be done great, but it'll be done fast.
Could be bordering on gibberish at times.
It could be bordering on unlistenable, like not even worth tuning into. But you bet it'll be fast.
You're already here. We got your listen. We got your download, right?
And it'll just be fast, and that's all it is.
It's all about us now.
That's all it's gonna be.
All right. So let's talk about some of the week's news and rumors. All right, let's talk ratings. This week's NXT averaged bang on 600,000 viewers. Great job getting a round number. That's impressive. 600,000. That is down 14.3%, and they got a 0.14 in the key demo, which is down 6.7. So not great numbers, down significantly from the week before. The head-to-head with, take a guess. What are they head-to-head with every week?
Football.
Nope.
Baseball.
Nope.
Basketball.
Correct. What level? College and NBA. That's too hard for you. That's a bridge too far. You could name sports, but I don't think you're naming.
You press your luck.
I don't think you're
little much.
I don't think you're naming leagues.
Too much.
Right. I went too far. Dynamite aired on Wednesday night. Why does it say Tuesday in my notes? I don't know.
Tuesday night Dynamite. Super Tuesday.
It averaged 969,000 viewers, up a mere 2,000, so slightly, basically the same, and earned a 0.31 in the key demographic, down 6.2%. And that is the high. We love how they pick these random dates, right?
Okay.
This is the new game.
Right.
Highest audience total for Dynamite since. Go ahead, pick a random.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's the same as last week.
Because, October 26th.
Right.
Nice.
Because it's better than. It's the best rating since then.
Right.
It's better than last week.
Of course.
And they were up against NBA games as well.
Nice.
Your turn.
That's the sport.
Coffee.
That's the sport with balls in it, right?
Coffee for me. Yep.
All right.
Lots of sport ball.
Mm-hmm. Let me think.
What's the big news?
Big news. Let me think. Yeah, so Finn Balor said him turning heel and leading a faction was supposed to happen 3 years ago. Apparently that was penciled in for NXT, so that's the week's big news.
Did he give any details on who was supposed to be in the faction?
Nah.
No.
But then they kind of tossed it around and didn't happen because crowds and stuff, so that's the week's big news.
Yep, for sure. Nothing else happened.
Finn Balor.
Yep. Are you going to go with any big news? I can't tell. I can't read you right.
I can do it after.
After mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had one where Dax Harwood says that Vince McMahon's returning to WWE makes things, quote, questionable for him. And it was interesting. I think it was right from his podcast, right? So he talked about he still holds a grudge against Vince for like a specific thing that was basically it was Vince, a quote from Vince. Everyone tells me you guys are the next great tag team. Everyone tells me you're the next Arn and Tully. Well, that's your problem. You are the next Arn and Tully. You're just great wrestlers. That's all. Nice.
All right.
And then he says, and then this is Dax talking, like, and he walks off like, this son of a bitch thinks that he just hurt my feelings by saying that, but he didn't. He made my dreams come true by telling me that we're the next Arn and Tully, right? So, but yeah, and then he says that Vince basically just never liked them, and that would make a return there a bit more questionable. So kind of
Obviously.
good news for us, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
No, I don't want them to go anywhere because obviously I think this is objectively better for them.
Other than it's probably more money, which is good for them.
Yeah, but
depending on what you're.
I think AEW is more than you know.
So yeah,
goodness.
Hopefully they stay where we'll watch them. But anyways, what do you have?
Indeed. Yeah. So the big thing this week for realsies was ROH Tag Champ Jay Briscoe. I think his real name's like Jamin Pugh or something.
Yeah, I think that's right.
He passed away in a car crash.
Yeah, that's sad, man. Only 38 with 2 young kids, right? So I think what I saw is
no seatbelt.
Well, yeah, there's that. Obviously, not a smart move, not wearing a seatbelt. Kind of surprising in 2023. A guy that well, anyways, it doesn't matter. But I think a car came across the lane, so obviously that's terrible. Yeah, it's quite a surprise, and by all accounts, like I read a ton of people's like posts and whatever, like seemed to be a very well liked guy. Had some issues with some unsavory social media posts, but by all accounts, it seems like there was growth from there, and that he was pretty beloved in most locker rooms and stuff. So a shame. Like obviously, feel bad for his brother and his family.
Absolutely no. I saw like this.
It really did.
One post that was like, whenever he was born in 2023, and I was like, I thought nothing of it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, didn't click in my brain.
Yeah.
And then I just kept saying more, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough because. Yeah, it sounds like just a super duper family man, right? So that's hard.
Yeah.
And his kids both hurt really badly, so hopefully they.
I think one of them's having back surgery.
One broke a couple vertebrae in the back, and one was in the neck or something. So all serious stuff. So hopefully they all heal and everything goes as well as possible. Obviously, So yeah, that one's a bit of a downer, but we'll go from that news. I don't know. There's no easy segue into it, but so Vince McMahon has agreed apparently to a multi-million-dollar settlement.
A good follow-up.
Right? What are you going to do? With rape accuser Rita Chatterton. So this one is like the original, the OG rape allegations or harassment or whatever you want.
Right, the state's back a while.
Whatever. Yes, 1986.
Yeah, I think she was like their first female ref, I believe.
Yeah.
I saw something
I think that's right. And so this settlement calls for an upfront like lump sum and then annual installments or payments as well.
Wow.
And I guess that's similar from what I was reading to agreements he's made throughout the years with other women. Right. And that's from the Wall Street Journal reporting all that stuff. So
we got a steady amount of them.
Yeah. So yeah, that he's back, and yeah, that's what's going on with that case. So interesting, man. That whole that Vince is back and taking over. So I watched this show, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Succession.
I have, yes.
And so it's a really good show. The dad is like the whatever, like the Vince McMahon of a major media corporation, kind of like this.
Yeah.
And it's all about his kids thinking he's bad and they need to find ways to like strong arm him out, but then he's one step ahead of them and comes back. It's like very, very, very similar stuff. It's very crazy how similar it is. But anyways, yeah, your turn.
Sorry, I was just looking on AEW's website while we're doing this, and they got like this cool, because you know how like I got the Blackpool hoodie with the camo?
Yeah.
They got AEW logo hoodie with like a black tie-dye.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't tell you. I saw, the Acclaimed shirt you really liked that you got for Christmas with the scissors in
the hoodie?
In the AEW logo? No, but I know. But that very one is for sale at Hot Topic in the mall. So all I'm saying is they at least have some current cool AEW shirts. I didn't go and look at any others, but
hoodies, because that'll be timely right now. Like, obviously shirts will serve more benefit
in the summer.
Yeah, but currently
where we live, it is not warm. Although this winter's been mild. But anyway, sorry.
I'm observing the hoodies.
Is it your news or my news?
It is mine. They confirmed Cody Rhodes for the Rumble.
Yeah,
which is an odd choice. But I saw it was because, let's be honest, it's one of those worst kept secret kind of situations, and also apparently they're pleased with the other surprises they have planned.
Okay,
so, which is promising because last year sucked major balls.
So it's funny because you said like it seems like an odd choice, and I was about to suggest, but because under the old framework, right? It'd be like, yeah, but they want to get more buys and stuff and let people know. But then I'm like, is that really a thing? Because either you have Peacock or the WWE network where we live still exists, right? So
if you really want to be watching these,
right. So yeah, because
I think I saw it was because like everyone basically knows it's gonna happen, so they're just gonna kind of announce it, like get some hype, and then also because they're fine with the other surprises they have. So,
but telling people in advance isn't gonna sell tickets, right? Or it's already gonna be a sellout.
I don't know.
It's all so I don't know. I think it would just be if you know it's not really adding value, the surprise factor for the fans would be cool, right? Just his music hits that number, whatever. But anyways, I'm sure they've crunched the numbers.
I am hoping that the surprises are worthwhile because last year was
it was
horrible.
brutal.
Like what? We had.
I just remember
Bad
being
Bunny,
like, this sucked.
Shane
I don't remember
McMahon,
who. Yeah. Which he made $800 and whatever $1,000 for, remember?
And he got booted out the next night.
Right.
And like Brock Lesnar won for no reason.
Right.
Big E did nothing.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that.
We did not enjoy it.
That was a bad Rumble, man.
It was.
The show, but like the Rumble too.
Both.
It was not good. The women's Rumble's better, and even then that wasn't good.
No. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Last one I have is, I think I'm stealing it from you. 2 popular independent promotions are pretty much gone or soon to be gone from WWE.
Yeah,
Network.
whatever that agreement is kind of severing ties, I guess.
And yeah, so the next part of that says word is that all of their, like all the indie stuff will be gone at some point, right? I don't know what else there is, but so that's Insane Championship Wrestling from Scotland, ICW, and Progress that we've seen live before in Toronto.
So that means the WXW would still be there, right?
Right, that is
which
one
is
other
the one we
there.
just saw fighting Smash. So like that show would still be on network.
Right. So we'll see if they're all going to be gone or not. Because you're right, that one.
I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume, but
me too.
I don't know.
It feels like they're going to get rid of them all. But anyways, all right, I'm tapped out. You go ahead.
So kind of following off the one I just said is it's not much of a surprise, but Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley are the odds-on favorites this year. Which I think makes the most sense.
I agree.
I think Cody, that's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, can hope for Rollins again, but honestly, that made more sense last year.
Yeah, and Cody feels like it's a WrestleMania thing, right? So
yeah, and then Rhea's been pretty hot.
I agree.
I think this is how you kind of fall on that. I saw something that she should also enter the men's rumble, but I think she's good enough just winning the women's
and
rumble.
Eliminating like 15 people or whatever.
You set the record if you want, right? Like,
yeah, that'd be good for her.
Yeah, I think that works.
I'm glad that, I don't like to use the word salvaged, but like things were looking rough for a while, right? For her,
especially early Judgment Day too.
Yeah, agree. And Judgment Day got kind of decent actually. So
yeah,
I don't know how it is now, but.
And speaking of them, it's weird because there's the number one contender tournament on SmackDown.
Yeah.
For the tag titles, but it's for number one contender for the SmackDown titles.
Obviously.
But then the Judgment Day on Raw, they're challenging for the Raw titles, which is weird because they're unified.
Right. But they're gonna de-unify them whenever they.
Yeah,
feel like
but I heard Triple H does want to do that, but like that's kind of dumb. You're just like randomly like, oh, you're gonna fight for one of the titles, even though they're like. I don't know, and I feel like the tag division doesn't like. If you look at the SmackDown tournament, you have matches like Legado del Fantasma versus Maximum Male Models is one of the matches in that tournament.
Banger,
right? Banger after banger, right? But like, my thing is like, it can't sustain 2 titles, and I think it's evident in the women's division too. I think
for sure
having the cross-brand title is fine. I know the networks are like, oh, you gotta have your own. Shut up, like that's just like. I think de-unifying Roman Reigns makes even less sense because, like, I don't know, one world title's like, I don't know. I feel like if any titles are going to stay unified, it should be the tag and women's. Or obviously the women's aren't unified, but they should be. Like, because the world title, you can have 2 world titles because the main event scenes are always going to be, like, decently filled out. So 2, whatever. But, like, the tag titles, like, I don't know. And I feel like you just kind of need one.
There's not a ton of depth, right?
Right. So, I don't know. It's just weird, especially the women's division, which... Because Raw is solid, but then SmackDown is like having Charlotte and Sonya Deville.
NXT as well. Is not exactly.
So I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I noticed they're doing.
Yeah, that is. It's gonna happen at some point, right? But how they decide which ones are up for grabs against who is
right. Which was interesting because I saw like someone post on Instagram was like Brock was because remember at day 1 last year, Brock was supposed to face Roman, right?
Yeah.
But then Roman got COVID.
Right.
And Brock got put in the 5 when he won the title.
Yep.
Because Brock was promised the title that day. So, in theory, if Roman didn't get sick, Roman would have dropped the title that day, I feel like, right?
Sounds like it.
And then Rollins was supposed to win the title then. What a shame. But imagine how different the year could have shook out if Brock didn't, maybe they wouldn't have even unified the title. So
True.
I just saw that and I thought that was kind of interesting. One of those alternate timeline kind of deals,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of interesting. In the multiverse, right?
That's right. There is a world where that is exactly what happened.
Rollins had the best year ever.
Right. If it were up to you.
If it were up to me.
You are a big Rollins fan. Always have been.
Still my boy.
Yep. Him and Moxley.
Yeah.
Yeah, from way back.
Yes, sir.
But anyways, we should probably get into talking about wrestling shows and stuff, I guess, because that's kind of what we do.
The ones we actually watched.
The ones that we...
one I actually watched.
You were in the room for some Impact. I wouldn't say you watched it.
I was in the room.
Right. You were second screening it, as the kids say.
Is that what the kids say? I haven't heard any kids say that. Personally.
Well, you're the wrong vintage of kid. Okay?
I'm the wrong... Okay.
Maybe it's a regional thing.
Uh-huh.
Wherever all the cool kids are, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're saying.
That's really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
that's what my sources tell me.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What are your sources?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Anyways, we're going to start talking about our favorite show every week, and that is AEW Dynamite. Well, it's your turn to talk about the follow-up episode to what we both gave it an A last week, I think.
That sounds like something I would do.
Because it was pretty awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you hold on to a Big Bill figure.
Yep. I'm going to do it like this the whole time.
You're going to do the whole Dynamite with, he's got the Certified G t-shirt, and what's the other one?
Bada boom.
Obviously.
And they're the rubber, so it's even better.
Awesome.
And they're not even cloth. Who likes cloth?
Nobody.
I don't like cloth.
Not Big Bill.
No, not Big Bill. He's got the weird mic, too.
Yeah. All right, talk about Dynamite. Go ahead. I dare you.
Oh. It's a dare now, is it?
I guess.
So we open the show with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal for the All-Atlantic title.
Open challenge, I believe.
No, that was the TNT title.
Right.
Buffoon.
My mistake.
You absolute buffoon.
I'm so embarrassed. I'll edit that out later.
God, you better.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Sounds like something I do.
You have to. So Dutt, Jarrett, and Singh are barred from interfering, or else Dutt will be fired. Cool. They get seats in the crowd. Danhausen's dressed as an usher. He checks their tickets. Trent, Beretta, and Chuck. I thought they were taking the seats, but they just sat behind them. It was kind of confusing.
Yeah, they were down the aisle or down the row, I guess, from them with beer and whatever, and just came and sat near them.
It was pointless.
Kind of.
And Lethal's kind of distracted. He gets hit by a suicide dive from Cassidy. Lethal sends Cassidy in the ring post. Lethal looks for the elbow drop. Cassidy rolls to another corner. Rinse, repeat a couple times.
Cassidy. And slow rolling out, right?
Right.
So,
LOL pisses off the heel.
Yeah, carry on. I was going to
I'll
save my commentary for when you're done.
Tee-hee.
My thoughts.
Cassidy bounces Lethal's face off the top turnbuckle numerous times. Don't worry, it's not the Matt Hardy thing. And then he hits a diamond crossbody, stun dog millionaire, my favorite move.
You do love that.
Then he goes for a diving DDT. Lethal catches him with a lethal combination, which actually was kind of solid. That was kind of a cool.
It is
kind of a cool counter there. Lethal then connects a lethal injection. Cassidy rolls out of the ring. He annoys the heel again.
Yeah, and that move's usually fairly protected. So
I remember the one time he did that weird fireman's carry spin, drop Trent, I think it was.
Yeah.
And, it was. I like that as an effective setup.
Yes.
That was still kind of cool because it's not meant to. I don't know. That was still cool. Then the finish comes with an attempted interference from the heels and some involvement from Danhausen. Cassidy nails Lethal with an orange punch for the win to retain. And there's some bit afterward Dutt keeps telling them not to interfere because then he'll get fired.
Right.
But I thought that was during the match.
Right.
So I was like, what?
And Singh technically ends up shoving one of them to the ground or something.
Right.
Doesn't
count. I don't know. I thought this was all right. It was an all right start to the show. It wasn't bad, but it felt like too much. And not enough wrestling.
It's like you're
not
reading,
enough match.
It's like you're reading my notes from across
too much,
table.
Whatever that was, not enough match. Because I enjoy both of these guys in the ring. I think Cassidy, especially last year, has proven himself to have good matches, right?
Absolutely. I love some of his matches.
Right, exactly. So I would have liked more of a match here, and it should have been better. And the finish was kind of goofy too. I thought it just kind of was weird. I didn't really care for much. I didn't care much for this on the whole. I guess it wasn't bad. It was just fine, and it's just
I'm pretty much a ditto. Like, I did note that I liked, because it's me, so they reminded me that these two have faced each other last year, right? And Lethal won that one, because I just remember that we've pretty much liked every Lethal match. Like, he's really
solid,
adaptable and good.
I just don't remember what he's won or lost.
But like, the match was good enough. It was fine, I guess, but like,
it just wasn't that great.
Less of the ringside shenanigans, less of Danhausen, the slow rolling away. Like, do it once. You don't have to do it 3 times or every corner or whatever it was. My problem sometimes with Cassidy and Danhausen getting involved as well is Lethal kind of looks silly a couple times here, right?
Exactly.
And that's not my favorite thing.
I thought the finish was kind of like one of those examples, you know what I mean?
Yes. So, Lethal's really good. I don't think he's capable of a bad match, but this was not my favorite Dynamite opener for sure. And there was a way better option right after this, right?
That's what I was thinking, yes.
And it's just that Jarrett, for me, and I think I'm speaking for you, it has made that group worse. That group had a niche.
I care infinitely less.
They were doing fine in their lane, and now...
Honestly, like, even though I really don't care about or like Singh, he doesn't really do much, so that's whatever.
Yeah, I think
this
totally
would be
fine.
best with just Dutton Lethal, but I digress. Jarrett's definitely made me just not really care about this, and I think it does kind of a bit of a negative effect on Lethal, despite like you still got that solid in ring work, but I still think to me just kind of it's a bit of a detriment.
This felt like they're like low mid-card comedy heel group right now,
which I don't like,
because sometimes Sanjay's on the brink of that, right? Like being over the top,
which this
and
feels there
funny, and then and especially when they're interacting with Danhausen too, like that just is too much of a combination of silliness for me. But anyways,
I don't really
wasn't my favorite opener.
Next we got a quick Darby Allin Kushida package because that's our main event. There's just some talking heads about how it was a surprise when this was announced. That Darby Allin's been on a hot streak since the title win. Kushida is one of the best junior heavyweights in Japan, has had success in the U.S. It's brought him here. Then he has a chance to win gold tonight, which is how a title match works.
That is how a title works.
Which I thought this was solid. It was just like a quick package, I guess a little bit of hype, which was fine.
I appreciate that because I feel, and I can't think of specific examples, but I remember feeling like they just throw people on TV, and it's like, I wish probably AR Fox would be one. I don't think they did. So I like that, even though we know Kushida and whatever, but I like that they tried and said, here's some of his credentials. Here's why you should care. Like, really quickly, right?
They mentioned the IWGP title a lot.
Instead of just, he's on TV and he's fun to watch, but we're not going to tell you anything about him. So I like that they tried, at least.
And one thing to note, he wasn't serious tonight.
Oh, right. Oh my God, I forgot that. He's serious now, folks.
Yeah, and then there's the weird bit when that was one of the last things Velveteen Dream was involved with.
Yeah. You know who's doing a serious thing right now is Indy Hartwell. So she's not a heel.
Is she wearing jeans?
She's just serious. Oh, right. She's just serious now.
Is she wearing jeans?
I don't think so. So not serious enough.
No, not serious enough.
She's just starting to get serious.
Yeah,
we'll know.
In 2K, Kushida's wearing jeans, so it's serious Kushida, all right?
So should she start out with like jean shorts, and then as she gets more serious, go to like short ones, then like Cena ones?
No, she has to wear ripped jeans because she's a girl.
I got it.
So that's her version, like
Cassidy wears ripped jeans.
No, but like Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
But like like heavy rips. You know how like girls wear like sometimes you can see their entire knee.
Right.
Something like that. Like she needs to like embrace it.
For sure.
That's getting serious.
We're digressing a lot tonight. We'll see if people like this. It's kind of fun, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna just like turn away. This is not efficient.
Who was it that
specific
Ghost Jam? If you're listening,
I'll get on that.
We're getting on
I'll get on it.
It has motivated this guy to get his, because my half of the document is done. So
I've still forgotten,
but we'll get around to it. The worst stuff I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's coming. Sorry, go ahead.
Next week, Young Bucks versus Top Flight. Hot off the trios Escalera de la Muerte.
Right.
Last week.
And just an amazing best of 7 series, right? Like one that we will always remember. You know what I mean? Even me, who remembers nothing.
And they are quick to point out Bucks' first tag match since I believe losing the tag titles at Fyter Fest last year.
Yeah,
which I kind of forgot they held them.
Suspended for a long time, and then trios.
And trios. Well, even before they were suspended, they were involved in the trios tournament the whole time.
Yeah.
Like the inaugural, right?
Yeah.
So even that. But that was, remember when they beat Jurassic Express in the ladder match at Road Rage, which was solid. Ironic ladder match. And then they lost it to Swerve and Lee, who don't have a tag team name, in that 3-way with Team Taz.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Which was pretty sweet too.
Team Taz. Yeah, it was, actually. I remember that being fun.
Team Taz was a thing.
It was.
They were in a couple tag title matches before they split.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I believe
I think they were in another one too with when Jurassic Express were champs.
Right.
I think also with Swerve and Lee, who shall remain nameless. So some of the notables, there's some nice tag combo offense in the corner from Top Flight. Not like, can't really note it, but like it's some nice fast paced stuff.
Definitely.
It's pretty entertaining.
This would not be fun to take notes for.
It does beat taking notes for trios matches.
It does. Not by a ton though.
By a ton.
This was a bit of a sprint.
There's a running corner knee, then Nick does like the running corner knee Domagiri forearm, the kind of little blast there, and then he does the running bulldog, but with Matt hitting a drop kick to the head instead of the.
I don't think that was perfectly executed. No, but the idea.
I don't think
cool.
It is often, but I do like it in theory.
Yeah, me too.
And it's never executed like super poorly.
Nope.
Then the Bucks hit the risky business for 2, which is like what the standing moonsault and the splash.
I think that was the first time I went, oh, that's risky business.
Well, that was because when you were like you did that for the trivia the one time where it was like named the Bucks move.
Yeah.
Or it's like describe the Bucks move.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave me like the name and then call back.
You had to tell me what it was. Yeah.
Nice. Standing Spanish fly to Matt from Darius, then Lope suicide dive for Nick. Later on, Dante gets out of the Meltzer driver attempt. Top Flight hit a small string of offense to Matt, and on Dante also hit a moonsault to Nick on the outside. Then they hit then they hit Matt with a powerbomb nosedive combo for a near fall, which is pretty cool. Nick broke the pin at 2. Remember?
Oh yes, that was nice.
Double springboard moonsault.
Yes.
Powerbomb nosedive.
Yes.
It looks nosedive.
That looks awesome.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. I would put that as their finisher.
Yeah, it should be. You shouldn't get up from that, probably.
Right, and then like it kind of incorporates the move Dante already uses, right?
That's right.
And makes it better.
Yeah.
So I think that works.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Right. Slingshot X Factor to Darius, and Nick flips to the apron, does the moonsault off the apron to Dante, then Slingshot Destroyer in the ring to Darius for 2 by Nick, so kind of a string little stuff there.
For
just
sure.
Pretty nice. Doomsday Device by the Bucks for 2, but Dante breaks the pin because Briscoes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Briscoes.
Yeah.
They were wearing the armbands too.
They were. There's a bunch of people wearing the J armband.
Like Brody or Eddie.
Yeah. It was good.
The finish comes when Bucks miss a BT trigger, then Darius rolls up Matt for the win. What?
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I think I had already started taking notes on the assuming they would win, but I thought this was a pretty awesome TV tag match and should have been the opener, right? This is the one that this is the perfect kind of opening thing I personally like anyways, and it was only 12 minutes, so it was pretty much a sprint, right? But like so many super athletic things, so many cool double team maneuvers, right?
A lot of really fast and entertaining sequences, like a lot of just like stuff where you just kind of gotta watch it.
Yeah, it was like the Bucks do what they always do, right? Top Flight looked great in this, and like they picked up a huge win, right? That's a feather in their cap. And so I thought it was a nice bit of commentary because as soon as it's done, Excalibur sort of immediately points out like, oh, the best of 7 series took a lot out of the Bucks, right? So they're not at 100%. So sort of like
I thought it was a pretty nice return to form for the Bucks too, because they haven't had a tag match in a long time, so it's a nice comeback despite the loss.
Yep, but great win for Top Flight. They looked awesome. This match was super fun.
Yeah, super fun match. Why wasn't this the opener? Like,
it's a perfect opener.
Doesn't make sense.
I know.
Had a really nice pace to it. The action was far more enjoyable. Some really nice sequences in here. Surprise result. Top Flight get a big win here, like you said, and clean. Even commentary point out this is the Bucks' first tag match since like July last year, and this was a loss, so that's pretty good for Top Flight. Like beating the Bucks in their tag comeback, that's pretty nice. And everyone looked pretty good in this too. I think everyone got a decent amount of time in there. I would say it was very enjoyable, much better than the opener that we got.
Way better.
Next we hear from the Guns, which was supposed to be the Acclaimed, but it's the Guns. Not as funny.
Not quite. No, they had one segment we really liked in the last couple of weeks, but
yeah, that was last week.
Oh, last week, yeah, that was funny.
Feels like a while ago.
It was. Well, because I also watched them on Rampage in a segment that wasn't funny.
That's true.
It was lame.
They claimed they made the acclaimed. They claimed they made the acclaimed popular. Okay, that's not a good sentence.
It's tough.
They claimed they made the acclaimed popular and gave them their dad, Billy Gunn. So nailed it.
Nailed it.
First try.
That's it.
Then the acclaimed come out. They're about to do the rap, and then Austin's like shouting and to cut it off.
That kind of made me laugh, actually.
Yeah, that was
just
amusing.
Yelling over the rap, like just I'll be louder than you. That made me laugh.
I'm louder, I win.
Yeah.
You know? Then Caster tells him to shut up, and it does the rap anyways. Then they go into the ring to fight the Guns, and then Billy kind of breaks up the fight and says that next week they'll sit down and hash it out. And he had 2 words for them: family therapy. I thought this was fine. I thought it was kind of odd. I thought it was really short, didn't really accomplish much other than a segment next week. We already got this feud.
That's
this facilitated the acclaimed face turns, which
right.
Do we really need this again with the titles involved? Like, this feels below the titles. Like, no offense to the Guns, but again, like, I know FTR taking a break, but how did they get to the titles before FTR?
I agree. And I thought the rap was subpar this week, like not one that was
really
notable.
The Guns were like a little amusing bits, but it still like feels kind of eh.
I didn't think Billy Gunn was very good here, and
no, he sounded kind of off to me.
And again, it didn't make a ton of sense. Like suddenly, Billy has a problem with all of this situation, which is like,
well, and it's like we did this. Yeah, we did this like a bunch.
And he has the power to just call a meeting or a therapy session or whatever it is. And I also thought the way he ragdolled Max Caster didn't look great. Because he like pulled him off of one of the Guns, and it was like he was lifting a small child. I don't think that did Caster any favors, but disappointing because we actually liked the Gun segment, right? So I didn't really care for this. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like anything worthwhile, and I don't really know what to expect next week. Because I'm like, what's the point?
I don't know. I'm not looking
Billy
forward
Gunn turns heel.
I'm not looking forward to whatever comes next.
Next we get Hangman interview with Renee. So he spoke about his win over Moxley, saying that he got something by beating Moxley. Say like he got his word back or whatever, even if it's not the world title. Renee said Moxley believes that they kind of push each other, and Paige talked about knocking Moxley out last week. Renee asked Hangman where he needed to go from here. He says he needs to mend some fences and didn't want to get too specific. And then he kind of asked how Mox was after. And then Renee says he's been hurt with something for like the 10 years she's known him, but he'll dust himself off and be okay. And then Paige was gonna ask her something else, but then was like, never mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think like again, like they have Mox's wife interviewing Mox's rival, which seems a bit weird, but
I kind of liked it though.
I liked that this time she also used like a private comment between her and Mox, that Mox hates and cherishes Hangman. That was the line I think, which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like the relationship between Hangman and Mox, right? It's complicated, right? And each guy I think is doing a good job of sort of showing that.
Yeah,
and
Hangman
like,
doing the vulnerable babyface.
Yeah, he's just so interesting because like I find his voice, not literally his voice, but you know, like his whatever, it's unique. He can pull off like sensitive and vulnerable without it being like getting in the way of him being a badass in the ring, right? And there aren't many. I can't think of anyone else that pulls that off that well, right? Like he's a thoughtful, tough guy.
It makes him stand out, and then that is kind of why he's a star, right?
Yeah, so. he's different. So I really like this actually.
Yeah, I like that because he still kind of stood his ground, so to speak, with knocking out Mox, but then he kind of like was also sensitive about it, and even asking Renee about him, I thought was kind of cool. But then when he was talking about unfinished business and mending fences, my mind can only ever drift to one place, especially with their recent title win.
What?
Is unfinished business, mending fences.
And what does that mean?
Where else would that go?
I don't know.
With Hangman?
I guess. Yeah, you're thinking Elite?
Where else could that possibly go?
I guess. Okay, yeah, since he's been there.
That is the only thing I'm ever going to think of when he says that. It has to be that.
Yeah,
and
sounds
if
like
they actually go in that, I mean, maybe, who knows? He's not done with Mox yet. They are kind of even, I guess. But I don't know. I'm thinking they gotta do something. I think that's kind of interesting because the Elite aren't really heel anymore, so that's also intriguing to me.
That's true.
So do something with that.
Breadcrumbs
would be interesting to me.
The first breadcrumb has fallen, maybe.
Breadcrumbing and again. Remember that time Mox got taken out and his leg was wearing like the Hangman tarot card or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And nothing happened?
Yeah. Sometimes we just think it's breadcrumbs and it's nothing.
That's just them being mean.
Yeah.
Like, stop paying attention.
Right.
Next we get Ricky Starks versus Jake Hager.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
He likes his hat.
Can't believe it's not the main event, frankly.
Mm.
Just like they made a mistake with the opener, they made a mistake by not having this the main event. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch a lot. Like, this is kind of boring. I noted a couple things, like 2.0 brought a table and Starks took them out. Then a springboard crossbody to Hager. Table doesn't come into play. Starks got the feet up on a swagger bomb. Yes, a swagger bomb attempt, and then he hit a tornado DT for 2. Finish came when he took out 2.0 trying to interfere, then hit a spear for the win. And so, like I said, like I felt like I didn't really feel like paying attention this whole time. Like I kind of felt my mind drifting. Cause it was fine. It just kind of felt like nothing. It was a really short match, and you knew who was winning. It didn't accomplish much to me. And then it also feels like Jericho's the real feud here.
Yeah.
They already did that.
I know.
That was the first thing they did. So
they're doing it backwards.
That's kind of a misstep here because I don't care about this. And also, if you're going to do something after Jericho, Hager's the one I want to see least. Put Starks against Guevara. That interests me.
Garcia.
Fine. 1 of 2.0. Not Hager.
Right.
Just not Hager.
He started with the final boss, and now he's working his way through the henchmen, which is not how this works.
We're building up to Cool Hand.
It's funny that you talked about losing focus because my notes literally say this. This involved Jake Hager. Half of it was during a commercial, and we were talking about getting tickets for Impact, so I paid a little less attention than I usually do.
When you mentioned the commercial, it sounds like a women's match.
Because this was like 6 or 7 minutes, and 3 minutes of it are commercials, so...
Women's match?
Yeah.
That's a women's match.
Yeah, they kept it short. The outcome was expected, and it was like the clever babyface outsmarts the bumbling heels and then quickly escapes. Like, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
But it feels like just like filler to get Starks and Jass on TV since they always are right now. And it's like, oh, we better get them in there. So this is what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Was whatever.
Didn't really feel.
Could have done without it.
Yeah. Then there's a quick Adam Cole package recap last week. Says he'll run AEW, run over anyone in his way. It was solid. Here's hoping he's back next week. This was like just a little bit.
Yeah, just a quick reminder. He's here after like an awesome promo last week, I thought, right? So, yep, it did its job, I guess.
He should turn heel.
Not
Kick
yet.
Everybody in the balls.
Not yet.
Kick Sting in the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Kick Jeff Jarrett in the balls.
He can be the Legend Killer 2.0.
Kick Billy Gunn in the ass.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I did.
Next we get a Jazz interview. See if rhymes. And so Jericho says Starks has been trash talking them, mocking them, beating them. So next week he asked for a tag match with him and Guevara versus Starks and Andretti. Whoop whoop. I guess that at least Jericho's in there, so it works. Garcia says he already has a match with Andretti on Rampage. He wants his hands on Starks. Whoa. And wants to be Jericho's partner next week. Guevara says he trained Garcia for this, which is kind of funny. And if he beats Andretti on Rampage, he can take Guevara's place next week. I like how he kind of changed it to be like if he beats him.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's not nice.
It's not nice. This is like sometimes they feel like Scooby-Doo villains for me.
Kinda.
Like they get a bit like, and it's not my favorite. The Hager match and this promo kind of felt like that. Like they're the bumbling heels that we're kind of laughing at, and I don't know. I guess it's better than the average setup for a Rampage match. Like they're trying a little harder, but
yeah,
whatever. There's a lot of stuff on the show that I'm just
Rampage
like,
match leads into Dynamite at least. Like,
there's some stuff on the show that I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's how I sum it up.
Yeah. Exactly. But then things pick up right after that. So
yeah, so like I thought this was fine. I guess I agree. Like, I guess a solid match for next week. I'd rather see Guevara next week, but I don't really care a ton. Like Guevara, Garcia, whatever. I kind of anticipate Andretti winning against Garcia anyways. That just kind of seems how that would go.
Yeah, feels like it.
Which, I mean, kind of sucks for Garcia. But, like, I really think they made a mistake not putting him in Blackpool.
Me too.
Like, that just seemed infinitely more interesting.
It just is a better fit for him.
Exactly. Like, I actually liked him a lot in that saga. Now I'm back to not caring about him.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
I enjoyed him.
Yeah,
then,
we were
and
into him at that point.
Yeah,
That's when we're like, okay,
he
maybe
stopped being an idiot in his promos.
maybe
but
this kid does have
now
something.
I just don't care. And the whole thing with Guevara is just like,
I think, did we talk about this?
I
I
don't know.
think he was at that Smash versus Progress show. I know
that we
I've
watched
seen.
a while. That we watched a while ago.
I know
I remember seeing Red Death.
Right.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Before he came to AEW.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Way before.
I think
Or
you're right, because when else would we have seen him?
I think we did, and we just had no clue who he was.
It
And he was
sounds
just like a
familiar,
skinny
too.
kid, right? So
Like, I don't know if you could
I
ever
think we
find
saw
that,
Red
but
Death somewhere. I can look it up because you're doing stuff.
Smash vs. Progress 2019. When that August? Okay, I got it. August 7th, 2019, Midtown Event Theater in Toronto.
That's right.
Okay, all right. Psycho Mike, Trent Seven sounds familiar. Pillars, Brent Banks and Tyson Dukes defeat Aussie Open. Jordan Grace?
No.
Huh?
No.
Walter and Kevin Bennett. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tarek, Jordan Devlin, Tony Storm, Jody Threat, Daniel Garcia. Yeah.
Who did he face?
Him, Halal Beefcake, and John Greed.
Oh, that makes sense.
Was Chris Brooks, David Starr, Paul Robinson, which is the guy who was flipping everyone off.
You liked him.
And Travis Banks.
Because wasn't he giving you the finger like right in your face? Yeah. When you were like
Garcia was on there.
A young child.
Nice.
Look at me remembering things.
Yeah,
That's it for the year, folks.
That.
Got it out of the way early.
We got our deep pull for the year.
Got it out of the way early in 2023.
That is it. Wait, was it like Jordan Grace? Jordan Grace? No way.
It's the Red Death.
It was
I remember.
Jordan Grace.
She wasn't there.
I think she like that. Kind of sounds right now.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't.
Must be.
She had the Progress title, which is weird.
That
was
my favorite indie show ever, man.
Yeah,
that
cool.
day, because we did.
I still have my picture of Jordan Devlin.
We did two
JD
shows.
McDonough.
Because OWE was fun too.
Yeah, that was right before, right?
Yeah, we were like, hey, let's get tickets to the show right after.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Good day.
Next we get Bryan Danielson versus Bandito.
Kind of a dream match for me. I love Bandito, and
I like
Danielson's the best, right? I see some similarities in the way they're being treated, Bandito and Takeshita, right? Like, show up, have a great match, but don't win.
Yeah, but Takeshita's the one with getting a push.
Hopefully, yeah.
Not Bandito.
Nah.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Got room for both.
No, Takeshita.
So anyways, very much looking forward to this.
Push, because he's got a promo later.
That's true.
So we get some holds and counters. When's the last time I typed that? Stalling hip toss by Bandito, which was interesting.
It was interesting.
Suicide dive by Bandito, then a Toby Con Hero. Super kick, then a spinning crossbody from the corner by Bandito. Pretty crazy stalling suplex.
Yeah, where it was because he had him at like a 45-degree angle, and then
straight
put him up vertical. Yeah,
and
was cool.
He was up there for a decent amount of time. Danielson locks in the label lock, and then Bandito tries to get the rope, so then he traps the other arm, kind of like a Rings of Saturn deal.
Yeah,
or Brutalizer, if you will, but not really. Oh yeah, I saw like
It's like what Ted Perazzo does. It's like a
Venus
double Fujiwara. Yeah.
I saw like this video on Instagram. It was like from a Neville promo in the Cruiserweight division. He was like something where he kept saying, "I'll do it again." And it was something about like getting a girl or whatever. Anyways, like, but I remember like the way he used to talk as heel Neville was amusing.
I used to think that there was no chance that he would ever be an interesting character.
Yeah, you said that. But
then, like I was like, yeah, he's cool in the ring, but man, he's not interesting.
Which it was like
now he's awesome.
Now it's like I don't know. I love Pac, but I also miss Cruiserweight Neville because that was different. Yes. Even from Pac, like King of the Cruiserweights was awesome.
And he was such a good heel, and I didn't think that was with just the way he works, right? Like, and then you're like, what? But he can be a heel. He was awesome as a heel.
I wish he would kind of go back to being heel because I don't know, but like I feel like even the King of the Cruiserweights was different from Pac.
Yes. Oh, it was.
Right? So
I love that.
That was a nice era.
And plus, every match he has is awesome. So there's that.
Anywho, then let's see. So Bandito got a rope break with his foot. I thought it was funny. Danielson was hitting him with like the kicks, like the yes kicks, but the crowd was chanting C.
Yeah, you enjoyed that.
That was pretty amusing.
The crowd's sharp, man.
Yeah, that was funny. Because they were getting pretty behind Bandito.
They were
kind of like Takeshita last week.
And Danielson was leaning into heel work, right? Because he's like, I see what's happening here. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like, he's like, let's help this guy get over then, right? Yeah. And I don't think everybody's like that. So he's like, I'll work a little heel. But anyways.
Bandito hit like a GTS, but it was from a torture rack, so that was cool. Kind of like flipping him over into a GTS, which is cool.
Yep.
GTS.
Yep.
LOL. Oh yeah, I saw someone like comparing FTRKO to CMFTR. That's not funny. FTRKO is funny, okay? MJFTR is funny, okay?
Yep.
CMFTR doesn't even make sense. All right?
Right.
Like, God.
We'll tell you what's funny.
Be
okay?
funny, okay? Like
Yep.
the letters have to match up.
Right.
All right?
It's got a flow.
Yeah, it's got that's not funny, okay?
Doesn't
Like
feel. It feels forced.
Warjoe's dumb. Like Jungle Hook is funny, okay? There's a difference.
We're here to teach you what's funny.
Yeah, that's what's funny. Okay? Saying Ocho is funny.
Instead of 8 on, it has to be every available opportunity.
Every opportunity. Like I think the one match later they got up at 7 and I was angry.
You were. That's right. You were so ready to say Ocho.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was pretty sure it was the main event. I was like, I was ready for it, and they got up. They Darby Allin freaking got up. The audacity.
So I would suggest that if you happen
Chanting
to watch,
C instead of yes when someone's from Mexico, that's funny.
if anyone happens to watch Impact Rebellion and there's any sort of count and you hear a kid yell Ocho, you're gonna know exactly.
That's me. If
exactly
no one
who it
else
is.
yells Ocho,
You'll
that's
hear a
okay.
lone voice yelling Ocho.
Even if it's just me, I'm gonna, cause you know why? Cause that's funny.
It is funny.
So after the Torture Act GTS, I don't know how that snowballed, but
It's all right because you're
anyways.
tired. It's midnight right now.
And then he goes for the 21 plex, but Danielson flipped out and he got a Mahi Stroll cradle for 2. Wrecking ball dropkick from Danielson, then a running knee from the apron. Avalanche moonsault followed by slam from Bandito, then 21 plex for a nice near fall.
He's awesome,
which was pretty cool.
and it's weird because why does the 21 plex not bug me? Because it looks like a move that should bug me.
It should.
But it's like I shouldn't like pumpkin pie because of the texture should bug me, but I love it. So
I hate pumpkin pie.
There's exceptions to every rule, I guess.
And then later Danson won with the Busaiku knee.
Yeah, he drilled it.
And then after the match, there was a quick MJ promo on the Tron.
There was.
He says he sees and reads everything everyone has to say about him, that he's not deserving to be on top. He says people seem to have forgotten how he got on top. Brass knuckles, I remember.
Right. Which is funny because this is what he's supposed to do, right? Like, what is this? What did the kids say? Gaslighting us? Is that the proper usage? Because
I don't know. Is it?
I think so.
I'm not too.
You're convincing the people that the reality is not what reality is.
Is that what he's doing?
Yes. I think, right?
Not very good gaslighting.
Because I think he's implying that I'm like a technical beast and you forgot that, and I'm an amazing wrestler, which, as you said, he won with brass knuckles, right? So,
he said after all the moments he's given the people, fickle is an understatement.
Fickle, using a Danielson word again.
He says the further Danielson goes on this journey, the more his mask will slip off, and he doesn't want that. Nobody does. Yeah, that's how you get COVID. And Danielson may think he's a dragon, but even the dragon is no match for the monster behind the mask.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Devil.
The match built for me the way a lot of my favorite matches do, because we start to go like, oh, these guys are working holds and counters for quite a while. This is probably getting some time, right? So, and then it works its way up to like impactful stuff, signature moves, right? So I thought another.
Yeah, you're saying like all the holds and counters is kind of like they're getting time for that, right?
Yeah, because they're not gonna. If these guys are only getting 7 or 8 minutes,
you're not gonna waste
3
it on
of it
like,
grappling.
You're gonna kind of get into it,
right? Awesome TV match, I thought. And I don't know if it says cheap shot, but I feel like this is the type of stuff I'm not gonna see on WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bandito's style, and I forget. Do you remember Excalibur said what it was? His style, and it's basically like, it's awesome. It's lucha plus submissions plus freakish power, right?
Kind of a weird mix, but it's really cool.
I forget what he called it, but anyways, awesome. This match delivered for me, and like I said, Bandito seems like Takeshita a bit, right? Like have really good matches with super mega stars for now, but don't win. So that could change, obviously. So I hope both of them do start getting some wins. What about throwing them together with a mouthpiece? Not as a tag team necessarily, but like a stable and Takeshita. You're somebody who's new, looking for talent. Like it'd be cool if Stokely wasn't busy, right?
International Combat Club.
Because Callis has been scouting Takeshita, but that seems like
has he actually, or I thought that's the story coming.
No, I think he has been
like a real
on
thing.
The internet?
I thought that was
on the internets, possibly.
That's lame.
I'm not sure, but
yeah, but hopefully, and then
that seems like a weird fit to me. But I mean, Callis is a good mouthpiece if people need a mouthpiece.
Yeah, but then like Takeshita kind of has to be a face, and Callis is like,
agreed.
You're never gonna cheer him like ever.
It's hard to.
That's just no, never.
4 days ago, Don Callis, scouting of Takeshita, makes an offer to Takeshita. So,
when?
huh?
When?
I don't know. I'm just
Was
reading
that on
it
Dark?
now. I think it was probably on the internet. Yes. But anyways, carry on.
Yeah. Did I just? Oh, I thought I closed my thing. I accidentally clicked I have my tabs grouped, so I thought I closed it. Why isn't it? Okay,
It's on Fightful. What does it say here?
That's good. My doc's not responding yet.
But now this isn't responding. We might be having internet
Oh
issues.
God. It says my connection's still good. The computer does this sometimes. Okay.
And then so I can
not
talk.
Good listening. There we go.
I'll talk about the MJF promo then.
Okay.
I think it's kind of funny because he's trying to make it sound like he can hang with Danielson for an hour, right? Which leads me to believe he's gonna do something cheap shenanigans, right? Which he should, because he's MJF, and that's the way things should go. But I just think like it's kind of he needs to be cheap and dastardly, right? So this whole like I'm a technical wizard and I can hang and haven't you seen me, like that can't be where it's really going, right? Because we don't need.
Whoa! He won a match with a headlock. How dare you?
And I'm not saying he's not talented in the ring, but his character doesn't need to be earning our respect with going toe to toe for an hour with Danielson. That doesn't make sense to me.
I think they will go an hour, but
yeah, but like
not.
He'll engage in multiple shenanigans along the way because that's what he does. I assume it's not going to be like all technical stuff. But anyways, sorry.
Yeah, I was reading on a list of like things you notice like if you watch Raw in 2004. Apparently Benoit and Triple H had an hour long on Raw.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell.
And Lesnar and Angle, which I forgot about on SmackDown, which was 2003, which I know about, but like I forgot about that when we were talking about hour longs. Anyways, this was pretty sweet as expected. Bandito's got that unique style, which was really entertaining. A lot of holds and submissions, so I think it clashes well with Danielson, really well. They're similar size, so Bandito looks normal here. It sounds like he's like lifting Jericho around and whatever.
I was telling you that's what he looked like in Ring of Honor. Like I never realized he wasn't that big until
if he's up against like Rush or whatever, right?
Right.
The crowd really got behind him throughout this, which was really cool. And Danielson kind of worked a little more here, like you said, which kind of benefits him. The chanting C instead of yes, which was pretty amusing. Sequence with the Avalanche Slam and the 21 plex really got the crowd going. I thought that was really nice near fall. So far the storyline's yielding great results with Takeshita and Bandito being the first couple. Hopefully they can keep this up. It'll be a fun ride. And given our next opponent, I think that'll work too.
Yeah, it's like the trials of Danielson, and it's just a great match for us every week. It's awesome.
It's like a new best of 7.
Yeah.
Except he has to win every time, so.
Yeah. And that's I always say like that's a compliment too. I know he's winning and the matches are still super fun and Cage and Danielson should be good too.
I was saying like he should wrestle on Rampage too if he really wants to like get that, like just wrestle on both and kill 2 a week.
Yeah.
Like if
Get
you're
there
really
faster.
if you're really that smart.
Yeah.
Or then if you lose one, you just make up the loss on Rampage.
Yeah. True.
Boom. Next we get Saraya, Tony, and Sheeta promo. So Saraya and Storm are complaining about the originals, don't like them being around or stuff like that. They're not happy about Sheeta from last week. Tony's got a match next, and Saraya told Sheeta to stay in the back. So they're turning? Like, I have no clue what's happening. I'm very confused. At least if they turn, then we're meant to dislike Saraya. That's my main takeaway.
We do share a brain because mine is immediately. This confused me greatly.
I don't get it.
So after feeling confident last week about Sheeta turning heel, right? It looked like she slid it right in between two heels.
That works.
And she's angry because she was disrespected by Saraya with her sitting right there. That made sense. And I was starting to really look forward to heel Sheeta too. And then this is like Saraya feels like for sure in this moment. And I mean, we already obviously know, but like in the moment, Saraya for sure feels heelish, and Storm seems to be leaning that way too. So,
but like, why?
My question is, did AEW notice that Saraya's not getting the reaction?
But they just got off the feud with Baker, and like, it doesn't make sense to me though.
But I think they just, and AEW's good at making these adjustments. They thought bringing her in as like a legend was going to be something, and it's not something. I don't think. We don't think.
But I think this kind of kills Storm too, because Storm's a pretty strong face.
That's why I don't know if they both need to go, but I guess where do you go, right? At the end of the day, this segment created enough confusion that I did want to see what was going to happen next. So does that mean
I'm just confused.
I know, but then I'm like, how are they going to explain their way out of this?
I don't care.
But I just feel like it's because remember we said right from the get-go, none of Soraya's promos sounded babyface. It was all like, I'm so amazing, I'm so great. Like, this is not, it wasn't working, so maybe they noticed.
I hope so, but even still, I'm just lost.
I know, me too. It gets clearer, I guess, as we go, but at that point...
Does it?
I don't know. At that point, it was very confusing.
Next we got a Brian Cage and Prince Nana interview. Cage versus Danielson next week.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah. MJF interrupts, says Cage is what he needs, and he has money potentially for him, so he's got like an envelope. And he says win or lose, he needs Cage to break Danielson's arm. Then he slaps Cage and tells him to use the hate next week. Cage lets him go because of the money. And he hands it off to Nana. I thought it was a solid bit, maybe an in-ring story next week with the arm, and then also Cage versus Danielson. Nice.
You know why it's funny? You know why MJF's a good heel? Because he just did the whole, like, I can hang. Hey, big muscly dude, please, I can't hang. Please take a bunch of money and take him out. Right? So that's good stuff to me. That's, right? That's what he should be doing. So I really quite enjoyed this little bit.
Next we get Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale.
Yep.
There's a hip attack from Storm, sending Willow to the outside. Spinebuster from Willow for 2. Willow misses a cannonball in the corner. Storm hits the hip attack in the corner. And D'Artagnan DT for 2. Later on, a cannonball by Willow for 2. Then finish comes in. Saraya distracts Willow for a second. Then Tony Storm rolls her up with a handful of trunks for the win. Then they beat up Willow until Ruby Soho makes a save. What?
It's NWO vibes, man. They're the new people coming in, taking on the originals.
But they're all elite, so we know they're signed.
Yeah.
And Saraya's not cool.
Amazing hip attack. Ridiculous. It looked like she was getting whiplash for sure. I actually was enjoying the match.
The match was fine. It was pretty short. Just felt kind of inconsequential.
And a sudden cheap finish, right?
It felt more about whatever weird angles here. And for me, like, I still don't really get what this turn is about. It feels super random, kind of odd to me. Regardless of what the reception of Saraya has been, it feels really odd to me. Like, they're just feuding with Britt and Hayter, the top heels of the division, in my opinion. So to turn now is kind of odd, and so far it doesn't make sense to me, because Sheeta seems like the more logical turn at that.
Yes, I thought so, and I kind of was looking forward to it.
Right. And so far, this doesn't make sense to me, but I guess it remains to be seen. And it's not even like, I'm not even sure if I'm interested yet. I'm just really confused. I just want to not be confused.
Could they double turn? You could turn Hayter and Britt face almost. Almost. Hayter, I feel like, would be easy. I don't know, because I don't know what's going on either. I thought Willow looked pretty good here. Storm looked aggressive, but then it was just sort of over out of nowhere.
Are they going to feud with Soho and Willow now?
The good news is, and I think you're in the same boat, there's probably no doubt I'll like Saraya better as a heel. Because she's so unlikable for me.
We'll see.
So we may as well.
Maybe I just won't like it.
Especially the way she's been presented so far. It wasn't working, right? So I don't know. Willow was someone else I'd like to see gain some momentum, as WWE would say.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Well, she lost, so she can't.
That was our women's match.
Tony Storm has momentum.
Right. All of it.
Next we get Ethan Page promo package. Hathor says they aren't done with Jungle Boy, and the tag match lost last week was embarrassing. And Page says that's where he comes in. It's payback on Rampage. I thought it was a solid little bit here. It feels like Page has slipped down a bit.
I agree.
But I guess this is something. Like, it's Jungle Boy is decent on the card.
Yeah,
so
for
like,
sure. It's
like
just on Rampage.
Card placement. So yeah, that's the only thing.
Probably a good match.
Page just kind of slipped down a bit, which is a bit of a shame.
Both of these guys are great talkers, so I was fine with this. Yeah, and my thoughts were the same. I just hope that Page can hang on to the profile he's gotten lately, right?
Mm-hmm. Next we got quick Takeshita interview. Nice.
Yep. Any Takeshita's good, Takeshita.
Mm-hmm. So he said he loved wrestling Danielson last week, and that's his idol. He says he has his back, because MJF's a snake. He spoke in Japanese. Renee asked him what he meant. He said MJF is an a-hole. I thought it was alright. Obviously, he doesn't sound the best, but getting him time will help. And he was alright nonetheless, I think, like, for however comfortable he is. And he also did speak a bit Japanese, which I think is, like, at least keeping him somewhat comfortable with that, I think is good too.
Yeah, like maybe he could still use a mouthpiece, but let him
still
speak.
A start.
Yeah,
I'm just appreciating that, like, we got anything from here, because he didn't wrestle, but, like,
exactly,
because so far he's been only on the show in a wrestling capacity, so this off the back of last week was
Yeah,
nice.
he got to speak twice now, right? So good for him. Any Takeshita in our week is good at this point.
Absolutely.
He's just so fresh and interesting. Like any matchup, anytime, whatever. Let's go.
Then speaking of Japanese, we come to our main event, which is Kushida, not serious, versus Darby Allin, very serious, for the TNT Championship. Darby Allin's face paint is like just saying that now he's got like a new style. It's less skull-like.
Right. You like it.
He's got like that really big coat thing, you know?
Yes.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like next time he's going to have a figure, they're going to make that. It's just going to be this big, ugly rubber thing.
Probably.
Every time they make a coat for the AEW ones, it's freaking rubber. Ugh. They're so bad because they're just like, their arms are just stuck and like, just like kind of out. Like,
yep.
Just like, it's so bad, man. Like, that's why I'm kind of happy with that Seth Rollins, like, the one that I got for Christmas. Like, it's not perfect, but they did kind of try to make the arms posable in the rubber jacket, which I kind of appreciate because on the rubber ones you can get like the sculpting, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing with like the cloth goods ones, as they call them, are better because obviously like
cloth goods,
right? You can pose them or whatever, like the
cloth bads. Am I right?
Sure. Sure.
No good. Gold.
Like the Seth Rollins that I really want. It's got like the cloth jacket on. It's got like faux fur on like the edge, on like the collar, and like, so that's nice. But like none of the details are sculpted. But like that's the only benefit of the rubber ones. But then like you're like, I remember that Finn Balor lead I got. Like he's just stuck there, and it's like A, it's a pain in the ass to get him out. B, once you get him out, you're never gonna want to use it again.
Never.
Like the one Finn Balor got the cloth jacket. Hell yeah.
When you were a young boy, you had to get me to take the.
Because they're so bad.
They are bad.
That's why the only time the rubber ones are solid is like the Cody Rhodes I got. He's got like the big rubber coat, but it's the one with the interchangeable arms, so you can have the posable arms. Like that's the only benefit. Like when it's Ultimate Mission or Supreme, because like, anyways, rubber jacket bad.
Yep.
They make the Darby Allin, so his figures, other than the Sting one I got, like they've come with the big rubber jackets and like just. You expect me to use that?
Nope.
Nah.
We just have a bin full of rubber jackets.
I got a lot.
I know.
I don't use them. I use the cloth ones and like
cloth goods.
If it's a rubber vest, sure, because the arms are still like the arms are still posable, right? That's a whole nother thing.
Right.
If it's a jacket, forget about it.
It's over.
It's over. Notables. There's a bit of holds and counters early on again. Kushida's like the hip toss, cartwheel, basement drop kick. Palm strike, code red from Darby for 2. Darby hits a cannonball to the outside from the top. He intended to hit Kushida, but he got out of the way, and Darby took out the 2 LA Dojo guys there.
Yeah.
It was one guy, I forget his name.
I've seen them both on New Japan Strong. DKC, who I like.
He jobbed the hook on Rampage, I think, once.
He's a small guy, but he's cool. Martial arts dude, I think.
And then Kushida took advantage. Pele kick from Kushida, then he goes for a handspring back elbow. Darby catches him, hits a Scorpion Death Drop.
Homage.
Wow, that's where they were both down, and then they got up at 7.
That's right, and you were disappointed.
Not cool. Not cool. Darby goes for a diving dropkick to the outside, which is an odd move. Because you'll take a big hit too. But Kushida catches him, locks in an armbar on the floor.
Oh yeah, was that where the camera was super zoomed?
Maybe.
I think there was something outside that was like that.
The finish comes when Darby counters the hoverboard lock attempt, pins Kushida with the Last Supper, and picks up the win.
Yeah. Another standard Darby Allin match, right? He gets dominated for most of it, and then makes his opponent look good, and then shows resilience and wins. And he's got that's one of his finishers, right? Is the Last Supper, and he's got
or it's like, I don't know if it's a finisher, but it's like one of his. I guess it does finish, but like I don't know, it's just a roll up, right?
Right. So good match, but like you and I think we've never really been as high on Kushida as a lot of people are. Like he's technically solid, right? But that's about it for me. Like I don't see any character or charisma or anything.
We kind of came around on him towards the latter days. It was like I think it's after the Johnny Gargano match.
Yeah, in ring I don't have a lot of issues, but it's just like I don't see anything else there.
I thought he's like it was a solid main event, if not, or it was a solid match, if not super main event feeling, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
But solid nonetheless. The benefit with Darby as the workhorse mid-card champ is that he'll have a lot of matches and he'll make everyone look good because he takes so much offense.
Yep.
I think Kushida does benefit from that a decent amount, but I thought he's looked better for the most part in NXT. Like, I thought he always looked better then.
I agree.
But he looked pretty good here, and thanks to Darby, you got a solid amount in, so you got a decent amount of time to shine. I liked a couple of the other matches better. This was a solid end to the show, I guess.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It's not like I didn't like it, but yeah, it was a good main event, but not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I thought another good show this week, not to the standard of last week, but that was an amazing week. But 2 matches that I thought were pretty awesome, right? And Danielson, Bandito, and honestly, that Bucks Top Flight match was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So a good main event, solid women's match, like it was, and then a Hangman's interview I really liked, and the Saraya Storm stuff is weird, right? I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
but
I don't. It's just kind of there because I don't know.
So some really strong in-ring generally, a bit of a disappointing opener. Nothing amazing segment-wise, right, other than Hangman for me. It felt like a B+. Like, I still liked the show, and a couple of the matches I really liked. So, a B+. Good show, not up to the level of last week, but still better than anything else we see.
Mm-hmm. I thought I closed. Okay, never mind. I'm good. So yeah, it was a solid show. Like, I think the opener was and then
not for us, I think, is safe to say.
Yeah,
some people probably
Starks
liked it.
Hager was short, but not great.
I forgot
the women's
that.
match was and then Danielson Bandito was fantastic, and the tag match was fantastic as well, and the main event was solid.
Yeah.
So I think interaction generally was kind of a mixed bag.
Yes,
but
it was.
Mostly good. Like segments, I think yes, the Hangman one was one of the best ones. Like the Guns was weird, Jazz was weird. MJF cut a solid promo, but that was pretty short.
Saraya was weird.
The women's stuff was weird. Like I'm still not sure how to feel about that. And then not much else. So I think like it was generally a pretty solid show. So I think a B+ is fair, but like I don't know, some of the stuff was weird. I would recommend a couple of the matches, and that's it.
Yep. What did you give it? Sorry.
I'd go B+ too.
Yeah, I was close to a B because you reminded me. I forgot about Hager. I'm like, ooh, I almost want to take marks off for that, but I'm on the record for B+.
It's
so
pretty short.
We'll keep it. All right, so let's move into some trivia, where I have something ready for you in a segment we call Off the Top of His Head. All right, so this week, this might be hard because it's late and I'm tired and not very smart sometimes. So I'm going to take, it's a list.
When did we start talking about me?
On the Sportster.
And so sounds familiar.
It is 10.
Yes.
10, what was it called? 10 top betrayals, right? So I'm going to take their description and on the fly here try and turn it into hints. So that might be hard because I have to not give you anything super obvious, right? So you got that? Royal Rumble betrayals. All right. So let's go with number 10. The year's 1989. If that helps you. Back then.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
All right. So these two entered 15 and 18 respectively, dominated for a little while. And then involving a collision with Bad News Brown, I said one of the names almost. This is going to be hard. One of the people bumped the other and Bad News Brown out together.
Oh, is it Mega Powers?
And yes, and then do any details that you have. Do you remember anything else?
No.
And then it was basically.
I don't think I was born then.
So Macho accidentally got knocked out, berated Hogan, and Miss Elizabeth was obviously trying to mediate.
When you get angry.
Early. So this one is, I believe, 2014. One person involved here entered in what's called the Diesel Spot, which is where you get to eliminate a whole bunch of people. Sorry, not where you enter, but what you get to do.
Shield.
Oh, wow, you're good.
Sure. Okay. Didn't he eliminate both of them?
So what happened there?
I don't know. He took.
Yeah, he eliminated 12 people, including Ambrose and Rollins.
Yeah.
Yep. And that says, to be fair, Ambrose tried to dump Reigns out first.
Yeah, that's fair.
Number 8 in 1996. All right, so you've got basically one person and his friend, who he's sort of been on the rise, ended up taking the other person's signature move. No?
No, I don't know.
1996.
The Blue Brothers.
So who won the Rumble in 95?
Michaels.
He's involved in this.
Rockers?
No.
Diesel?
Yes. So this was like Diesel's ascension sort of thing. 2020. Just anything controversial come to your mind here?
1990 what?
2020.
2020?
Yep. So someone comes in and...
Was this when Brock tossed out Shelton?
Wow, yes.
Nice.
So why would that be a betrayal?
OVW.
Yeah, and also, yeah, they're college friends too, training and tag partners at some point, right? So, wow, good. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Very good. Number 6, 2018. Anything come to mind?
Reigns and Rollins.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't even have to do anything. Talk about it.
Powerbombed Miz out of the ring onto the Miz Taraj, and Rollins was wearing the gear with the flames on it.
That's funny.
And then Reigns tossed him out. It was after he lost the title to Miz on Raw 25.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental title, because they gave him that for some reason.
So I don't think you'll get this one.
Every Shield member feuded with the Miz.
I don't think you'll get this one off the top of your head if you see what I did there. Women's Rumble 2018. Is that
Divas of Doom?
ring? What does that mean?
Was that Beth and Natalya?
Oh my God. What's wrong with you?
Sucker.
Yes, so that is exactly what happened. So it was, what does it say here? The Future Boat, which I hate, by the way. Helped Beth Phoenix eliminate Nia Jax. Then they went for a hug, and then
boom.
That's where it happened. She threw out Beth Phoenix. How dare she? Okay. So this is a double one. So they've had issues with each other twice. 2 betrayals. Women's 2018, 2022.
It's not the same one, right?
No.
Was Bella Twins?
Oh my God. What's wrong with you? Yes, it was
women's
the Bellas.
tag teams. I mean, got easy peasy.
So I think it was Nikki threw Brie out in the first one, and Brie got revenge in the second. Which is a good callback.
I know, yeah, because Nikki turned on her in, what, like 2014, I think?
Yeah.
And then I know because Nikki was the runner-up in 2018.
Of course she was. Why would she be?
As you do.
2020.
Rated RKO.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out the clues, and I don't even have to bother. Yes, that is correct. That is rated RKO. And who eliminated whom for betrayal?
I think Orton was teasing eliminating Edge, but then Edge took him out.
Correct. That is exactly it.
If you didn't have that long-ass match at Pandemic Mania.
Odd detail they included, the two shared a brief laugh about Edge having abs now. Why didn't you know that detail? What's wrong? You say you know wrestling. I don't think you do. 2000.
Did Rikishi eliminate Too Cool? Both of them. They're doing the dance thing, and then he tossed them both out.
That is exactly it, because there's even a picture with this one, and they're dancing.
Yeah.
Yep. They got down in MSG with a dance break, but it didn't last long when the big man tossed his friends out shortly afterward. Exactly. Number 1. So you obviously should get this, I guess, if you got like those weird ones. 2010. Think about it. A betrayal. The biggest betrayal.
Not Beth Phoenix and Kali, right?
No, bigger.
Okay. Literally?
So 2 people, right, that are very much friendly and
DX.
Correct. So who was it?
Michaels Take Out Trips. Because
Correct.
he was trying to get a match with Taker, I think.
Yes, that is exactly it. Because he was
Jonathan.
Right. So that was easy for me. I should do that more often. I just say like 5 words and you know the answer. Well done. You got almost all of them, I think, right? With most of them without any clues at all. Not surprising. Anyways, let's shift gears back into talking about some of the weekly wrestling action. What we liked, what we didn't like, and anything else we saw, and that's Highspots and Restholds. All right, so you go first because we'll go in order. So Monday, anything from Raw that caught your eye?
The only thing was that I caught a bit of the Usos promo thing with the Judgment Day, and it was kind of like the New Day promo that we liked, like classic Usos, you know?
That was...
They were like running down everyone they'd beaten, and like
even
calling back, like the first team they beat to win the SmackDown titles was Dom and Ray.
Oh, wow.
So Networks.
Yeah, I did love that New Day one.
So that was nice. This was nice too. But
Good.
it's kind of a Resthold too, because man, did Dom sound like crap.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like you can find it on YouTube too. Like maybe I'll show you after, but like, and because they're running the whole angle, like, oh, he was in prison, and
I've heard that. Yes.
Like, but like, just like he sounds like such crap, man. Like even still, it's just he sounds so like, ugh. Why didn't you get Balor to talk for them?
That's
like,
too bad.
I hated it whenever he talked.
Sounds like you did.
And I mean, contrast that to the Usos too, because they're so good. Like,
yeah,
Dom just is not good. And the only other wrestler I could think of was Seth didn't win the U.S. title #1 contenders match. So, yeah,
objective Resthold.
Obviously, like Bobby Lashley, psh,
whatever,
lame.
Right.
I mean, I don't like that's gross.
All right, so NXT time, I guess, on Tuesday.
Was it a Super Tuesday?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Highspot was another strong opening match. So it was Axiom, Apollo Crews teamed up, taking on Trick and Carmelo. Pretty fun tag team match, honestly. Trick continues to improve, and they don't have to like expose him too much here, right? So I think like it was just the right amount of Trick, and he didn't mess anything up, and things look better than they used to. So that's good. And the other three are awesome, pretty much, right? So the action through it was pretty entertaining. The finish saw Axiom hit a kick to Williams out on the floor, so kind of took both of them out. And then Cruz countered Hayes' finishing leg drop, and just basically not a roll up, but he just kind of sat down onto a pin.
I saw.
Right?
I think I saw. Yeah.
I think it was 12 minutes. So Hayes beat Cruz 1-on-1. Now Cruz pinned Hayes in a tag match. So if I know WWE, I'm thinking we're getting another Hayes Cruz match, which I'm fine with. As long as Hayes keeps winning.
Barbershop brawl.
Hayes needs to use their own term, the momentum, because I want him in the championship hunt, right? So the match will be good, so just let Hayes win again, what I would suggest. What else? A Resthold for me. Did you? I don't think you saw the Stax and Tony D'Angelo. They share a moment.
I did not.
So basically, because kind of in a way, even though Stax was trying to be loyal to D'Angelo last week, he did kind of cost him the match with Dijak, right? So anyways, they're walking.
I caught a bit of Dijak this week. It was
you did see that, yeah. That's coming up, I think. So they're walking on this bridge, and the basic idea, because they're so on the nose, is Tony takes out 2 dimes and throws them into the river. So the implication being this is where they murdered, right? They tossed him over the bridge. So
did they murder him in a factory?
So basically, Stax thinks that this is what's going to happen to him because he kind of did cost him the match, right? So, but then instead he's getting promoted. So he gets like a new leather jacket with a family, whatever, seal, crest, logo on it. So just kind of silly, right? Like, I don't think either of these guys are doing a bad job in their roles. It's just the roles are silly and stereotypical Italian mobster, and it's just like I still can't tell if this is a face turn or not. So it didn't get much reaction from me, like what they wanted it to. Because I kind of laugh at how dumb these are, and like because at the end of the day, he's still the Don of a crime family with one person, and they never do anything other than wrestle.
They didn't even like let Legato stay in there.
So I don't get it. But anyways. Highspot was a short Tiffany Stratton segment. She's basically locked out of her own private dressing room, and then Indy opens the door and tells Stratton she doesn't get her own dressing room. Indy like pulls the sign off the door and puts up, I think it was a women's locker room sign. And yeah, Stratton's just the spoiled, entitled brat. She does a really good job, and I think Indy's a good opponent because obviously Indy's not going to win, I don't think, and doesn't need wins. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. Resthold, just in general. Whoever is writing the lines for several of the people on this show, like Toxic Attraction came to the ring to speak.
Oh God,
they sounded really bad again. And them, I think their delivery isn't very good either. But the words they're given make things worse, especially for Dolan. I find she sounds ridiculous, saying things like that normal people don't say. I was tempted to actually go back and write some of it out verbatim, but I didn't want to do that to myself, so I didn't. You just have to take my word for it. It's not how human beings speak, and it's frustrating. So anyways, Lyra Valkyria interrupts them, and I thought she sounded better than they did. She had one good line. I can't remember what it was. Something about I don't see a champion anywhere in that ring or something like that. Anyways, but she got beaten down, and then Roxanne had to come make the save. And I'll also throw into this poor writing stuff Stevie Turner in, because she's had another segment. It sounds like it's written by like an aging male, like
what do you think? Who do you think wrote it?
who has no concept of what streamers are, and go, I'm pretty sure this is like. They say stuff like algorithm, and then they can't resist doing like the glitchy anytime it's cyber
like
and using
Snapchat
the word cyber,
filter.
right? So it's all like it's so annoying. Anyways, it just comes across as like hacky, and I feel bad for Stevie Turner. I think this character is kind of a dead end anyways, but especially when like out of touch people are writing her dialogue,
Right.
or her whatever, her words, it sounds like. A little bit of a high spot, Ivy Nile. I was like the Creed's mom in this one, so her delivery wasn't great either, but she kind of came in and was like, they're arguing over who gets to face Jinder Mahal next, and Nile's like,
didn't Julius already face him?
Right, and so he wants revenge, obviously, but Brutus is like, no, it's my turn, and she's like, you guys have been distracted into like single stuff, and you're not the guys you once were who were dedicated to training all the time. Like, you're getting caught up in things, and you need to go back to being the Creeds that just train their butts off and dominate the tag division, right? And after she left, even Brutus is like, she has a point. Like, her delivery's not amazing, but I thought like what she was saying actually made sense. So that's nice that they can write for people. Yeah, evidence. Resthold for me is Alba Fire again. Like, she lost to Sol Ruka here. Like, Fire, they just don't know what to do with her, right? And it was Isla Dawn's up in the balcony distracting, and then you saw the Ruka's finisher.
Yeah, oh yeah, Soul Snatcher, which is funny. That's
sorry,
a good
what's
name.
It called?
The Soul Snatcher.
That's
funny.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
It's like what, a handstand cutter out of the corner?
It's like she like jumps off the middle rope in the corner. She does like an inverted somersault into a cutter.
So she like starts, it looks like she's gonna go into a handstand, but then she continues through, and so
she's gonna push it. It's weird.
It looks kind of cool, but if that's her finisher, it makes the opponent look dumb because they have to like stagger towards the corner, right? It's even, I think, worse than the Eclipse. Because yeah, the Eclipse looks cool and she hits it, but like your opponent looks dumb walking into it.
Yeah, and I think you look less than like if you're just standing or whatever. Like, and sometimes there's a better setup for the Eclipse. I feel
it's true,
right?
but
a Soul Snatcher, I feel like there's no.
You gotta walk towards the corner with your getting ready to take.
Or you gotta like be hunched over, ready for it.
Probably Ruka's best match, but like, it's still obvious she's just like a ridiculously fit athlete who's learning to wrestle, right? And that's all it is. Resthold that you saw the Dijak promo. Anything you'd like to say about it?
I don't get it.
He's good in the ring, right? But this super generic like Terminator leather jackets and sunglasses makes me like him less. It's not.
Is this supposed to be better than Retribution? Like, I don't even know.
I don't exactly know what they should do with him, but he's really talented in the ring, and this gimmick is just dead end as well for me. High spot, Vic Joseph sat down with Waller. He was Waller, that is, was a little bit more subdued than usual, and he was making some decent points about his last match with Breaker, that like the ring crew had one job to fix the ring, and they cost him the match basically because he was allegedly going to hit some devastating move but fell out of the ring. So I honestly think he could be a star. He's good enough in the ring, and he on the mic, he's that like
mellow. You gotta be mellow,
obnoxious heel thing going for him, right? So high spot. I actually thought the match between Gallus and Briggs and Jensen was like a solid physical kind of Haas tag match.
They didn't do stereo weapon offense, right?
No, and Jensen got taken out by he got back body dropped on the floor, and then Kiana James and Fallon Henley came down to like sort of argue over who should help him or whatever. So then Briggs is left to go it alone, right? Obviously Gallus is too much for that, so they picked up the win with their
Enziguri power slam thing.
Yeah, which is okay. I don't mind it. It's a combo move at least. They tried. So they win after 11 minutes. So I think where we're going maybe is that Briggs is going to get tired of Jensen's involvement with the ladies, right? And it's going to create some tension for them.
Henley already is.
Because Henley and Jensen had a decent segment later on in the show where Jensen sort of stood up to Henley, and she claimed that she was like, oh, Kiana James is using you. And I was literally thinking the same thing. He goes, for what? Right? Like what? The bar's situation's taken care of. So anyways, decent stuff. Resthold. the audio quality ruining a Chase U segment. So I don't think I've mentioned it in previous weeks. There's some like secret person recording other people, and then the footage is on like there's just somebody recording
like
private
just this
moments.
feud or like
No, then it's been different things along the way. So anyway, someone's recording. They caught Hudson saying something to another Chase U person, and I tried 3 times, but they're going from so it's overheard audio on someone's phone being played through a TV on the TV and then coming through my TV. So I couldn't tell for the life of me
filtering through a lot of stuff
what they were saying. So I didn't love that. But anyways, it's this question of is Hudson loyal? And I've been liking Chase U stuff lately, so but I didn't hear it. Resthold, Elektra Lopez and Valentina Feroy's involvement, whatever's going on there, like the match, and then so they had a match, not good, obviously, and then there was a segment afterwards, and I don't care about either of these two, so I don't really know what they're doing. It's like
who did Feroy's face? I already forgot.
Lopez.
You just said,
and then it was after
today, sorry, this week.
Yeah, and then it was like afterwards. It was like I don't even remember who won. Lopez, I think.
I thought Feroy's faced someone else.
Was it? Anyways, that's how interesting it was.
I should know. Okay, now I gotta figure it out.
There was an interview with Braun Breaker. Then he gets his turn, and I thought it was good. Like he's just kind of doing the whole confident baby face, like I want the talking to stop. I'm gonna get you in a cage and kill you, sort of thing. So I thought he did a good job in a very like standard thing. But he's not amazing, but he's solid promo. And then a high spot. Tyler Bate returns to action. He interrupted a singing Javier Bernal. Hit like all of his signature offense and beat Bernal in 4 minutes. However, man, it was bad. The finish went for a Tyler driver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Bernal was sandbagging or didn't know what he was doing, but he had to go take 2, and the take 2 was the weakest.
No,
Tyler.
It was Thea Hale and Feroy's.
That's right. Sorry.
Now it makes sense.
Hale picked up her first win, and then that's right. And then backstage, Lopez was to Feroy's like, you need to do what I do and just worry about yourself, blah, blah, blah. Although I don't know who else she's worrying about, but anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the finish to this was like a bad Tyler driver after a take 2 on it already. So, Bate's still awesome, doesn't care, and he's a really good baby face, right? Which we always say it's really hard to find. So, and starting him out with Bernal makes sense because he actually has the crowd doesn't really like Bernal. They enjoy booing him. And he's just a low mid-card guy at the moment. So I honestly think, and this is going to sound weird, that Javier Bernal will have a long WWE career. Because he seems
to just kind of do whatever,
do the comedy stuff. And he has a bit of charisma, and he doesn't seem to care what they give him. I get that vibe of, like, you can give him whatever, and he'll try, right? So they'll love that, and he can do comedy. So I think he's going to be around, like, I don't want to say, like R-Truth-ish, you know what I mean? Like
right,
just
but like he'll have a decent
anything from silly to ridiculous he's willing to do, and he'll do a decent job of it. So I could see him being around. Resthold was the main event. Like, it's a slightly better than average tag match. It was Valkyria and Perez against Toxic Attraction. Cora Jade interferes, and she and Valkyria fight their way to the back, and that leaves Perez alone. But to further the tension with Toxic Attraction after the Battle Royal last week, Jane accidentally kicks Dolan, and Dolan ends up taking, I think then Perez like chucks Jane out of the ring, hits Pop Rocks, and pins Dolan for the win. So we get more dissension, whatever. There was some decent action, but it was the main event and only 7 minutes, and I don't know if I mentioned it was Toxic Attraction as well, which doesn't do really much for me. I don't know. I think Valkyria is really good, man. This sounds weird, but the way
I don't remember her from UK.
The way she was on a little bit, a couple of vignettes.
I do recognize her old name. It was something Valkyrie, but like I don't remember her.
I like the way she moves around the room. Or the ring. She moves like I don't know. She looks like a fighter to me, and her kicks and stuff are good. But anyways, anything on or no? Do I go next again?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. SmackDown really wasn't interesting.
So Impact then, in general, I did watch Hard to Kill. Really liked, what did I really like? Was it Eddie Edwards and...
Yeah, you mentioned that to me.
And who was it?
Gresham.
Oh, Gresham. That was a good match. And the main event was Mickie James and Jordan Grace. That was really good too. Other stuff was good. Nothing like blew me away. The tag team 4-way elimination was a little bit underwhelming, but there's nothing really bad. So it seemed to be a bit of a reset though for Impact because you know who took over as the Authority, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Santina Marella, and
in character.
There's some storylines I don't like where they're going, and I'll get into what I don't like about Impact right now because I did not enjoy much of the outer ring on this show. Oh, this is fun. I was looking forward to this. So the opening segment is a rest hold. It was far too long. Are you ready? Because I'm going to summarize what happened. Pay attention, okay? Mickie James comes out to talk about her win at Hard to Kill because she's the champion now. Good for her. Bully Ray interrupts, okay? Generally being menacing and threatening toward Mickie James, heavily implying that I'm going to bubble bomb you through a table like I used to, right? Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans come out because Tasha Steelz wants another title shot, blah, blah, blah. Then Kaz and Jordynne Grace come out to balance the numbers because Steelz and Evans attacked Mickie James, obviously. So then Santina Marella comes out, and he's like comedically confused about what to do, which is going to get really old really fast. Right. And then Ernest the Cat Miller comes out.
I saw he came out. I don't know why.
And he advises him, obviously. I thought it was going to be, like, it was very Teddy Long, right? So it was kind of like he's doing that same thing. Well, obviously it's a 6-person tag match. Great. So
why does it need to be mixed tag? Why can't it just be a women's tag? And why is Bully Ray in there?
So I looked, and the match that immediately follows this is almost 25 minutes. It was 23 and something. So 25 minutes passed before we got wrestling, and that's never my favorite. And the match that came out of this was fine, but like it was just 6 random wrestlers thrown together, right, for a match. Mickie James pinned Tasha Steelz for the win, and then Masha Slamovich, hooray, came out to try and save this. She hands Mickie James. She does like the X'd out picture, right? And that's like your next sort of thing to officially confirm she's challenging, even though we know she's
ending the last rodeo.
That would be great because Mash is awesome. Resthold Santino Marella, dude. Too much of him. At least 3 or 4 times on this episode. And like such a stark contrast to like a serious and I thought effective babyface authority figure. Because now it's full on like he's mispronouncing people's names, right? Like, it's just too silly for me. It's not. Honestly, this sounds harsh, but this week it felt like it's cheapening the overall product. It feels small time with this, right? Mm. Like, it doesn't seem legitimate when you have a comedic character running the show. It bugs me. Highspot, I thought, have you heard of Ashley D'Amboise before?
I saw she was on the Fallout show.
So it was Purrazzo and her, and like I assumed it was going to be a squash, right? Since I don't know who this is, but it was a pretty competitive match. And yes, Purrazzo still won, if I remember correctly, but she looked good. I thought she really sold well, so kind of one to watch for me because I have no idea who she is or where she came from, which I like. I love that, right? So rest hold. Trey Miguel's backstage, talking to D'Amboise and being just like condescending, basically, jerk.
Yeah.
And then who's Mike Jackson? Do you know who he is?
Old guy.
Yes. So that he ends up showing up to try and defend her honor, which I don't really think she needed, probably because she is like a professional fighter. But anyways, and so now they have a match. 73-year-old Mike Jackson and Trey Miguel are gonna have an next.
Well, I don't know why they keep bringing him back. They throw him in random stuff sometimes. I notice, and I don't know.
So this is an.
And he does like the thing where he rope walks around the entire ring, and whoever takes it looks like an idiot.
This is one of the storylines I'm not enjoying right now.
Willing to bet right now Trey has to do that.
Yeah.
Take the rope walk all around the ring.
Probably. Great. High spot. I actually like the Taylor Wilde. What is she? The something witch. The People's Witch.
Let's get wild.
She took on Killer Kelly. I don't know.
Did it get wild?
Killer Kelly is interesting to me, man. Good physical match, these two, because Killer Kelly's thing is like she smiles even though she's like selling, but she's smiling because that's what she likes, sort of thing. And she won with her submission hold. And Taylor Wilde's new look and stuff don't do much for me, but she's okay in the ring. She can have good matches, right? I just don't enjoy her generally. Resthold Tommy Dreamer talks to some guy about Bully Ray for a really long time. I don't know who this was. I couldn't be bothered to go and look it up. And like Dreamer did a good job and sounded sincere, but like, are you slow burning a Dreamer Bully Ray thing in 2023?
I think so.
Because no. No, just no. And then I started out not really liking it, and then by the end, I liked Pit Fight. Pit Fight doesn't have the same ring to
No,
it, right?
you kept doing that, and I'm just like, no.
Underwhelming at first, but the second half was pretty entertaining because it got more pro wrestling. It was a lot of like holds and counters and whatever. And I thought like not having ropes is really changes Bailey's offense, right? Because he does a lot of stuff off the ropes and made
Yeah.
him a little less dynamic and interesting to me. It's more like kicks and
I guess
stuff.
it was kind of more grounded though, because it's
It
more
was supposed
martial
to be.
arts, right?
Exactly. So eventually Bailey snaps, right? Beats on Kenny King until the ref pulls him off. Bailey rips out his mouth guard and tosses it, and then puts a chair on top of King's head and stomps it, right? So I guess the idea being Bailey
He
wins,
snapped.
but yeah, Kenny King got him to snap, which is all he wanted to do anyway. So I've really liked that story, and if that's what they're gonna do, I have no problem with that. So I ended up liking the match. Kind of a tale of two halves. It's a bit slow to start, but the last half of it was pretty good. So I think that's it for the Highspots and Restholds. You said you do have some figuring it out for us?
A little bit.
All right, so let's, Jack's got a little bit of an update from the world of wrestling action figures. So let's do that now in a segment we call Figuring It Out with Jack.
So they showed new images for AEW Unmatched Series 6, I think.
Cool.
And that's good because there's kind of some doubt with the line, but that's just because they're doing like some company change thing, like they got bought out. The Jazzwares did.
Oh yeah.
So you got Power and Powerful finally. They have face painted figures,
even though they are no more.
I guess. I mean, they might. Santana's just been out.
I heard there's tension there.
Right,
though.
but Santana was also injured.
True.
Since Blood and Guts, right?
True.
And so these figures are from the first Blood and Guts, with where they're in like the prison jumpsuits.
Oh yeah, the orange.
The inner circle. No, the black, or like not prison jumpsuits, or like something like that, but like the black jumpsuits. And so like Santana, like I like the face paint heads, but they look really like the paint looks really flat to me. Like the beards, like because you know how like the WWE ones have like that True Effects technology where it's like looks. This looks like kind of like moving away from that, which obviously I know how to do it, but like, so he's got like that extended bat thing, like you know, where it kind of like extends out. Like I don't know what it is.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and then he's got like this one interchangeable hand where it's holding a fork.
Like a retractable baton.
Yes, that kind of thing.
That's the words.
And then he's got like the interchangeable hand holding a fork from that match. So that's kind of cool.
Makes sense.
So they both come with 2 different face painted heads, so that's kind of cool. So those are cool.
Yeah.
And then there's Luminaries Collection Owen Hart. It's just another version of the ringside exclusive Owen Hart, which is in like the black tights with the white stars or whatever. This one's in red tights. It's got that same like Stampede Wrestling belt. It just doesn't have the cloth jacket anymore.
Nice.
And he's got the same heads. I think the same heads just without the headband. I don't know. It's not. It's weird because they can't do a WWE Owen Hart, right? So it's not super interesting. And then like I think that's the Chase variant is like that, but blue with gold stars. It's the same figure, just kind of repainted. And then you have Ruby Soho from, I think it was, what's the 9th month? What's the 9th month? Don't tell me. September. Got it.
Smart boy.
September 8th, I think, 2021. It's just like a basic with like a bunch of tattoos, orange hair. She doesn't really come with anything other than one interchangeable hand and a head. So like it looks solid. I think it's pretty good. Probably beats out any of her WWE figures, but the heads are okay. It doesn't fully look like her. It's odd. Then there's Malachi Black from the same Dynamite, ironically. And he's got the one head with like that, you know, like the cool kind of yellow skull mask.
Yep.
And he's got like a rubber coat.
Of course.
But at least it doesn't have sleeves.
Right.
So there's that. And I think the best figure of the set is Brody Lee in the red suit, which is really nice. He's got the TNT title with the red strap, Mike, and he's got the papers, the rolled up one and the not rolled up one. It's from Dynamite, July 22nd, 2020. It's really nice. I think the red suit's kind of cool look, and it's nice to still do Brody Lee. Or on the package it says Mr. Brody Lee. And he's got the rare variant, like a blue suit, which doesn't have the belt. So that's alright. But that's kind of cool too. And I told you they had the Supreme Lucha Bros and from the cage match, which is pretty cool. Which that gear is really nice. So I'll definitely get those at some point. And those are the ones like that they've had the interchangeable pants. I don't know if they will, because especially for Penta, because he's got the top, right? So you can't really have the interchangeable pants unless you're kind of careful about it. Which with this gear, I really don't think you can. So it'll be kind of interesting what they do. I think they'll have like cause you know they kind of like those varsity looking jackets.
Yep.
They got those, I think. So that's cool. And they have like a bunch of heads. I really like the gear from that too, because it was like kind of like the Mexico looking one.
Yep.
Like the colors are really nice on that side. I really like that. Need a Joker Penta though, eventually.
For sure.
Then another cool thing that they have coming out is like, because they have the 3 different ringside exclusive figures, which are JR, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. So you have commentary figures.
Interesting.
And they come with the chair. So that they just put up for pre-order the announcer accessory pack, which is like their announce table, not the one now because obviously it's updated, but like think the one they had before.
Right.
With it's got that, which is Breakaway 3 monitors, and then it's actually got like the fabric backdrop with all like the little AEW logos. So that's kind of cool. So it's like a whole setup to go with the figures. Yeah, I think that's cool. Other than that, it's AEW logos, but like I think it's cool that they actually do that because, yeah.
Very cool.
That's it.
Nice. I think it's been a couple weeks since you did some figuring out.
Yeah, they've been slacking.
Right. So start producing them figures, people.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that's going to bring us to the end of episode 131. We're right in that sweet spot, 145. So the worst of will be coming out at some point. Can't guarantee when, but it's still January, so that's good.
Yep.
Might bleed into February, who knows? But anyways, we'll try and get that done. But we'll definitely be back next week for 132. We hope to see you all back. Bring a few friends with you. Tell somebody if you think the show's listenable. Pick up a few viewers. Actually, the best of and 130 did better than usual, so that's nice. A nice little uptick. Neat. So thank you, everybody. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you back here next Saturday. And until then, take care.